Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. Doing a bit of a sound check here and making sure that everything is okay. Just before we start, we're having a bit of technical issues and wanted to know if you can just kindly let me know. Okay, great. Already getting some heads up. Excellent. Thank you, Luis. Great. Oh, right. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, perfect. So we're good to go. So with me today, I have my esteemed colleagues. We still have Amalia in Argentina, and she should be coming home soon, I guess. Enjoying nice weather versus us here in Toronto with Michelle. So we look forward to having a very informative webinar today. And also, I do apologize because I was supposed to have a guest speaker this week, but I will be having most likely Chris from our team, or Darren next week, talking a little bit more about some of the things, some of the changes in SEO and also in paid search. So if you can just hold off 1 week, we'll have them also. In addition, most likely in March, we'll be introducing a new theme to our webinars, and that will be a theme on marketing automation and inbound marketing. Okay, so we'll start a new series, probably just maybe one topic, or every 2 weeks, just helping you understand a little bit more about marketing automation, as well as the difference between marketing automation and inbound marketing, right? Which are two specific services that you can now offer, specifically if you are certified with inbound marketing with HubSpot. That's something definitely that we will start pushing a little bit more, because we're seeing an increase in inquiries from that side, as well as ICs who are a little bit more in tune with marketing automation, which is a different type of marketing online and using different web properties. We'll be talking a little bit more about that, and how you can also assist your clients. So we're also been getting requests from ICs who are encountering this in the field, from prospects who have joined up with, let's say, Marketo, Eloqua, Pardot, which are marketing automation tools, for example, and they want to know how we can assist them. And very simple, we can assist them at the top level, driving traffic through digital marketing, or by optimizing their marketing automation instance or marketing automation processes and software. So we'll be talking a lot about that in March. So just letting you know. But I won't delay anymore. Let's get going. We have a very packed, packed with information, webinar with a lot of information today. So we'll kind of get started, and I'm pretty sure that even over the next week we'll be sharing more information in regards to some of the updates. So again, typical agenda, and we'll leave it with Amalia.
Yes, everyone. Good morning. And I just basically want to share this article that I did come across in regards to what Google has now confirmed. Basically, they're going to stop showing ads on the right side of the desktop search results worldwide. Basically, it's been a long-running test, and it's now rolling out for desktop queries. Google will no longer be showing ads to the right of its search results, with two exceptions. Google is now rolling out this dramatic change that removes ads from the right side of its desktop and search results, and places ads only on the top and at the bottom of the page. But at the same time, the company says it may show an additional ad, 4 versus 3, and above the search results for what it calls highly commercial queries. All of this basically represents a conclusion of a test that they took back in 2010, and it has been slightly tweaked over the last couple of years. Search engine land readers, in particular some outside of the US, notified basically Google last year that they will be seeing the top ads more frequently. A Google spokesperson has also confirmed to Search Engine Land that the change is now rolling out to all the searches in all the languages worldwide. Ads will no longer appear on the right side of the desktop search, with two exceptions, as mentioned earlier. Product listing ad, the PLA boxes, will show either above or to the right of the search results, and also ads in the knowledge panel. The additional fourth ad that may show above the search results will only show up for highly commercial queries, according to Google's official statement that was made. The spokesperson also stated the following. They mentioned this. We've been testing this layout for a long time. So some people might see it on a very small number of commercial queries. We will continue to make tweaks, but this is designed for highly commercial queries where the layout is able to provide more relevant results for people searching and better performance for advertisers. Basically, to clarify, the elimination of the right side ads impacts all desktop searches worldwide. The addition of the fourth ad above the search results will happen for highly queries, as mentioned before. This will involve searches like hotels in New York City or car insurances and that sort of business. You'll also find the removal of the all of the right side of the ads obviously makes the desktop and the mobile search results more similar. On the mobile, though, Google typically shows either 2 or 3 ads at the top of the search results. For example, if you're going to see the postscript, it says search engine land was tipped to this change via email from a Google advertiser that wishes to remain anonymous, and as well as the folks with the media image who wrote about this yesterday. There was another postscript made as well saying Google originally told search engine land that there were 2 exceptions to the right side change, the PLA boxes and the knowledge panel, and then the last, which is a postscript 3 for the any of the additional email exchanges. Basically, Google is now saying the original statement is correct. And basically, for an example, there may be the 2 exceptions to the removal of the ads on the right side of the desktop search results and the PL boxes. And that's about it. So that was on this. Armando, did you want to add to this at all?
Yes, for sure, definitely. Thank you. I know that was a lot to
Yes.
digest
Yeah,
in this summary.
it is.
So, bottom line to everybody is that now we will be. I mean, Google has totally changed the game in the desktop. So please understand that the changes that Amalia has shared with you are have to do with the desktop. The desktop. So I know there's a couple of questions that we're gonna. I'm already getting some of these questions. So let me just share with you what these changes mean. So as you know, let me just share my screen here. I'm actually sharing a one of the keywords that they call highly commercial query, right? So for example, car insurance. Number one, as you can see today already, they have removed all of the right hand. There's no more ads on the right hand. You see here on the right hand column. One of the logics behind it is because they want to make it similar to the mobile version of the website. So everything's kind of going mobile, right? So this is one of the things that why they've removed all of the right ads that we used to get on AdWords. Now what they've done is for highly commercial keywords such as car insurance, for example, you see now that we have 4 ads. 1, 2, 3, 4. This wasn't like that before, right? In this case, though, it starts to impact the organic, which we'll talk a little bit about it in a few minutes. But now they've changed it with 4 ads at the top, right, and 3 ads at the bottom, right? So they kind of power packed it like a hamburger, if you will. So what you need to understand is that number one, so far right now they've rolled out this new version of 4 ads at the top for highly commercial queries. There you will still find for very lower queries, you may find your standard 3, right? Your standard three ads, 1, 2, 3. So let's just do a quick example here. I don't know if cheap car insurance would probably be, you see this one's also considered a highly commercial keyword, but let's say something like buy a boxing uh, I don't know, ring. You see here. So for example, this is what Amalia was. This is another example of now it's only showing 2, right? So it goes back to the standard, but there's no more right hand ads. You see the ads are gone, and then you can now see that they only have 1 here at the bottom. So you will start seeing again differences in lower commercial queries, what they consider lower commercial queries. You can also see here that we have a PLA, right? A sponsored ad, and this one's in eBay, right? So kind of wanted to show that. Okay, so for example, here's another example of smartphones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 ads, and then we have images, then we have knowledge kind of panel here, then we have more news. By the time we get to actually organic keywords, you're almost at the bottom. In this case scenario, if you can see, there's no ads at the bottom, right? There's no ads at the bottom. So it is still something that's being worked on by Google, but the primary changes are no ads on the right, no Google AdWords on the right hand side, okay? And for highly commercial queries, you're gonna get typically 4, Okay, this will definitely have an impact on SEO. We'll talk about it a little bit more later in the webinar. So let's say I put, it's more, I live in Milton, Ontario. So let's say Milton, Ontario. Let's say, you know, I want to. Again, you can see 4 ads. Now, one of the changes that I see personally is that when you do, for example, a local search, let's say I put buy, right? Buy smartphone in Milton, Ontario, for example. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can see this. Give me a quick second. Yes, I know I'm getting a lot of questions and I will get to them. In this case, because I am doing a local search and it's not a highly commercial query, I'm only getting 3 ads. But then as you can see, I'm getting, Kijiji postings, etc. And at the bottom, I'm getting additional 3 ads. So there's a whole variation that's happening, right? So I'm going to kind of explain to you also some of the pros and cons, primarily some of the cons perhaps. But what I wanted to show you was a little bit more about the fact of the matter that how it changes also our I think it was this one. Just give me a quick second. I wanted to show a nice. It's not showing it to me anymore. Huh? I think it was like this. In a search, you may potentially get something it's not doing anymore. My apologies. But what I wanted to share was that now you will have your 4 ads, then you will have most likely your local searches, right? How we did it here. I think this one was no. I apologize if I'm toggling back and forth, but I wanted to show a clear example. Okay, in this case, you can see that smartphone in Milton, Ontario, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 AdWords. Then you have an organic, which I don't know how this one got to be there first, and then you have your 3-pack, and then you have more organic, right? So definitely this move by Google pushes all of the organic searches at the bottom of the page, right? I mean, it's gonna we definitely is gonna have an impact on SEO, and we're gonna discuss it. But as you can see, just by looking at this local search, you have your four AdWords ads, text ads. Then you have an organic listing. Then you have your 3-pack. Then you have your usual, probably 9 organic listings, followed by 3 more ads. So it's really power packed, right? And again, they've actually sandwiched the organic, with the text ads, right? So that's one of the major changes that just happened. So Friday, as Amalia was sharing. The second is that for PLAs, sponsor ads, that will have no problem, right? You will still have, in this case I put buy printers, and if you're running PLAs for your clients, sponsor ads, it's not going to have any changes at all. It still show on the right hand side on the desktop version, okay, because PLAs are primarily for that purpose, right? So this will not change. In this case, you can see that there's 8 different ads, and in some cases it's been shown up to 16, so double this. So you can see here that it will not have any effect on PLAs. Okay, so wanted to share that. Now, again, if you look at this, we have our 4 text AdWords or text ads, 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by some organic listings, followed by in the news, and then followed by more organic listings. And here again, we have more text ads. Okay, so this is a major game changer that Google just launched over the weekend. You can say on Friday. Now, I'm going to share an interesting article that I'm also going to be focusing on the webinar today, and this is actually from our friends at Moz. And interestingly enough, they've kind of shared 2 things that are uh, very important and that you must understand. This AdWords top blogs with 4 ads, it's only showing up in approximately 19% of all search results. So again, right now Google is only doing it with highly commercial queries, but we all by looking at the data and looking at what's happening, this is where things will move forward, right, in the next few months. So in this specific graph, they've kind of shown that since January all the way till February, you can see that it was already the four ads were already showing up, right, with about 1% of the search results, and then all of a sudden, starting in February, that number grew to 4% to 5% to almost 6, went down, and then they pulled the trigger on the 18th to show to 19% of all queries. Okay, so it's only 19% of all queries are showing the 4 ads, but again, that 19% will continue to grow. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to share are some of the keywords. So if you are bidding on, or if you are doing some SEO or PPC with some of these keywords that are highly commercial, yes, there may be some changes in regards to the bidding. Okay, there may be some positive changes or some negative changes. Cost per click may go higher because everybody wants to get in the top four, right? So that definitely may increase the price of CPCs, cost per clicks, right? And may force your clients to spend a little bit more in the short term. Remember, we don't have enough data today to see if the trend of a higher cost per click will be true indeed, right? Right now, obviously, if you have a PPC campaign, you're probably already kind of, seeing some of these things happening, and maybe the CPC rising a little bit. Here's another example of another competitive keyword such as laptop with 4 keywords. So you know what? I'm gonna share this interesting article with from the team at Moss. Very, very, very informational. And give me a quick second and have a read. Lots of information right now. You can definitely see that that these two moves by Google, you know, will have an effect in our overall strategies, right? It's just that it's too early to see what type of effect it will have. We can only right now either just speculate, right? So in this graph, again, you can see that, again, bottom ads. So the normal text ads is showing the bottom ads, the increase of bottom ads, the 3 text ads at the bottom of the page. They were testing it, running it, and all of a sudden, now they're showing it at least 20, probably about 27% of all searches have this. And then the right AdWords, you can see that, totally decrease. Like there, it's not showing anymore, right? Okay. So the right column ads are pretty much going to be obsolete, right? Very, very shortly. Okay, so I wanted to share this interesting article. Have a read on it. Maybe you want to definitely have something to share with your clients to let them know about the changing game, and we'll definitely talk a little bit more about it as we go through the webinar today. So just give me a quick second here. I'm just going to pause my screen to go back to the uh, to the um, to the webinar, and here we go. So, as Amalia has shared, definitely it's not going to affect the product listing ads or any ads in the knowledge panel that are on the right hand side. Okay, so what is exactly changing? Okay, if you want to take some notes on the FAQs here that we have also provided by Search Engine Land, uh, no text ads will be served on the right rail of the search results on the desktop. Again, these changes are happening on desktop results. Okay, Google will serve 4 text ads instead of 3 in the mainline area with these highly commercial queries. We discussed that. At the bottom, you're looking at an increase now showing of 3 text ads. So the total number of text ads that can appear on a search engine result page will shrink from as many as 11 to a maximum of 7 ads, right? In previously, you usually had your 3 top ads. You probably had 1 or 2 at the bottom, so you have 5, and then you could have another 5 or 6 or 7 on the side. So you were getting more ads, opportunities to show for specific keywords. So now that's decreasing. Product listing ad blocks and knowledge panels will show in the right rail on relevant queries. It's not going to be impacted like we talked about. And these updates are rolling out permanently worldwide on both Google.com and search partners. So again, be aware of these changes that are happening with Google. Okay. Will this impact product listing ads and ad testing knowledge panels? Like I said, no. Okay. So Google continues to experiment with product ad layouts. So we still will be probably seeing a little bit more of those of those ads on the right hand bar in the next few months. and until further notice, we'll keep you notified. But as you can see, Google's trying to really kind of make your desktop view very similar to the mobile view. Okay, one of the big questions that we have: does this mean CPCs are going to skyrocket? Right now, like I said, it's too soon to tell. Many are predicting that fewer ads will lead to higher prices due to supply and demand. Yet, it may not be that simple. First, there's the question of whether advertisers will be willing to bid the same for bottom of the page ads as they were for right rail ads. So anything that was on the right rail, maybe you were paying $2. Are you willing now to bid or have a CPC of $2? Where if you, for that same ad at the bottom of the page, we'll definitely see. We have to see what marketers' behaviors like, and a lot of this will be going through a lot of testing, right? So again, right now it's too soon to tell. Uh, the head of SEM at Blue Fusion, Martin Rotengarten, he points out that more impression volume for top of the page ads may suppress CPCs for top spots as well. Again, others disagree with Martin because right now all of this is a speculation right now. This is still debated until we get more data. Okay, what is our take at ALM? Our recommendation, because of the big jump from 1% to 19% of the ad blocks, definitely organic listings are being pushed down even more. So it is more important now than ever to use PPC or paid search in conjunction with organic strategies. Okay, so definitely this changes the game. It doesn't mean that SEO is dead, because it's not, but it does mean that you have to have a bit of a two prong approach to marketing, online marketing, specifically with Google, right? You will have to now perhaps focus on a little bit of paid search, right, to get some visibility at the top while continuing to do your SEO. So again, that's our recommendation right now. We can't tell you. The move just happened over the weekend, so we're keeping an eye on it because we're running PPC campaigns ourselves, and I'm pretty sure a lot of ICs are doing that as well. From our perspective, only time will tell whether CPCs are going to skyrocket, or maybe in the short term they will skyrocket, but in the long term they'll even out. We'll keep you posted on that. We don't have enough data. However, we do recommend that as you're visiting new prospects or speaking with existing clients about these news, they should definitely consider, if they're only doing SEO today, they should consider having a PPC strategy as well, a paid search strategy. Okay, it's not the best news from Google, because obviously at the end of the day, Google's making more money, right? But you know what? This is something that's dictated. It's outside of our control. It's at the control of Google in this case. Okay, so I know there will be a lot of questions, and definitely we'll try to address these questions as things progress. But just to summarize, these four text ads at the top of Google, of a desktop search engine result page, will definitely have an impact in the short term when it comes to fewer spots available, and potentially higher average cost per click. So again, we'll keep you posted on this. One of the comments that I have is, how does this affect the cost of keywords? Again, we'll keep you posted. Definitely less space means increased demand and higher prices. So I know we're getting that feedback also from SEOs in all the forums that we're involved in, that SEOs are not happy about this. Obviously, companies that are doing paid search, alone or only, are happier, right? So let's see what happens. We'll keep you posted on that. The other piece of news that I wanted to share with you is also another move. We've been talking about the Google Compare products that have been shown on the search engine results. And here's an example of one. For example, when you type in compare credit cards, to give you a comparison. So these type of comparison results that were given by google.com/compare credit card, it's winding down as of today. So between today, it's going to start going down. They used to have this for credit cards, auto insurance, mortgages, and travel insurance. So these Google Compare product will definitely start winding down. In an email to partners that Search Engine Land shared, the Google Compare team told Compare partners on Monday night that the product will start to wind down on Tuesday, Feb 23rd. Google Compare will shut down completely in both the US and the UK by March 23rd. So this feature will no longer be available. Okay. Basically, one of the Google spokesperson told Search Engine Land that while searches on these queries remain high, the product, so meaning Google Compare product, didn't get traction. He hoped for and revenue was very minimal. That's in part due to the limited availability of the products in both the US and the UK. Not sure if, from our perspective, I don't see many of our clients get affected by it, but we wanted to let you know about this change also by Google to shut down the Google Compare products in US and the UK. Okay, so if you have any questions, definitely let us know. We'll keep you posted as well on any new happenings on this one. The other thing that I wanted to share with you now, also at an international level, is that webmasters, you have to be on the lookout for a notification from Google, specifically on your Google Search Console, for incorrect hreflang implementations. John Mueller, basically a webmaster, Google Webmaster Trends analyst, confirmed on Twitter that Google did send out these notifications yesterday. That was, I think it was on Friday that they did this to sites that have implemented their hreflang markup incorrectly. Okay, so how does this affect you or your clients? Well, the hreflang markup is designed for websites that serve users from around the world with content translated or targeted to users in a certain region. So this will be mainly websites with multiple languages, right, or multiple locations, right? So Google uses the rel equals open colon alternate colon hreflang equals x attributes to serve the correct language or regional URL in search results. If you mark up your pages incorrectly, it can confuse Google, and now Google is sending out a large set of those notifications. Now, this is not the first time that we've actually touched upon this, because I remember that back in July you know, we did talk about this, the hreflang implementation notifications, and definitely that was the first notification. So here's an example. If you are running a multinational or multilingual site and you have incorrect hreflang, this is something that will show up in your Google Search Console, right? So definitely, if you do have that type of a website, definitely you have to have a look at it. Okay, just have a look at it if you're running an international site. Okay? And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us, and we can try to assist you as much as possible. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, moving along. Um, I believe Amalia has something to share with us in regards to Google App Streaming.
Yes, I do actually. So there's another article I want to share. It's Google Apps streaming for basically live for many apps via Try Now button. The Google App streaming is now live in the Android Google Apps search results. You can preview the apps directly from the search results before downloading them. Back on November 2015, if I recall, Google prototyped an app streaming on a few of the select apps, and now seems to be available for many apps in the Google mobile search results. The same requirements apply. You must be running Android L or greater, and it must be on a Wi-Fi when you do your search within the Google search app. Then if you see an app come up, it may have a button next to it, like I believe it's like a green install button that says Try Now. When you click on the Try Now button, the app streaming happens literally right on your device in real time. The app streaming lets you try an app without installing the app to your device initially. So for example, if you look at the image one, if you're looking at the screen, it would be the first one to your left. Then on image two, you'll notice that when you click on the Try Now, it launches the app streamer that lets you use the app for a limited period of time. And then as you can see on image 3, you can see at the very bottom it says App Stream by Google Beta. Then if you click on the banner at the bottom, you will then see an install of the app. Basically, this is the example that they've used, and if you click on basically the URL we provided, they'll give you a little bit more instruction as how to apply this. So that's what's upcoming and new. Armando, did you want to add to this as well?
No, I mean, this is perfect. I think that basically just a way of Google making it more easier
Yes.
for app users, right? So might want to
Yes.
have your if your client has any apps, any native apps that they're running, to have a look at this to see how they can potentially take advantage of this new feature. Okay, so it's, I believe it's still being rolled out. But yep, just wanted to share that with you as well. Thank you,
Yes.
Amalia, for that.
Thank you.
Excellent. Moving along, the other big news that happened this week is that Google launches AMP results in mobile search results, right? So, as you recall, we've been talking about accelerated mobile pages for the past weeks, and Google has now actually launched these AMP results in mobile search results. And this is all happening within the news section. Okay, this is only within the news section, and at this stage, just so everybody's on the same page and everybody knows that this is only the AMP are basically uh, accelerated. It's a feature to accelerate the download from mobile pages, and it has gained support from publishers, platforms like Twitter, analytic tools, and today from advertising networks and platforms. Because if they're running these AMP pages, the information really downloads fast. So I will show some examples, but I'm also showing a couple of things here, a couple of links that you may want to check out. Just give me a quick second. I'm gonna press the pause quickly, um, because I want to actually share the links. I've shared some of these links in the past, but there's actually a very interesting. If you want to learn about AMP, the one-on-ones on AMP, and you don't want to know technical, just visit this YouTube video. It's about 6 minutes long, but definitely they share very valuable information about AMP. My understanding right now, based on the research that we've done and that I've done as myself, is that the AMP pages are only mainly right now being used for publishers, right? So because of the amount of information that they have to share, sometimes you want that information to download very fast. So here are some examples of those search results. So I've just posted the links on the chat. But here are some examples of how they are actually showing up. So when you type in Trump, for example, on your mobile, right away you will notice that you have an AMP notification, and that means that when I click on this, my that specific link or post will download fast. So it basically is a stamp of approval that this page by the New York Post, or this posting, this news posting, is AMP friendly, right? So this is something that has been confirmed by Google, that they've launched it on mobile search results, and you can actually do this on your own mobile if you want to. If you type in these type of keywords, Trump or Google Lamp, for example, being another one, you can definitely see here at the bottom that this specific posting by the Next Web, which is, I believe, also a publisher, has the AMP stamp of approval, because their website, or at least this page, is AMP friendly. Okay, so again, for the most part, these are being used primarily by publishers. I know that we've had some uh, 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 queries and some requests from ICs if they can be used on just standard sites. I believe that this is where the AMP project will go, because it definitely it's a positive for mobile search. And I would understand that, I probably believe that Google wants that to happen over time. At this stage, so far, the sites that are getting the biggest benefit from having an AMP page are news related websites, because it's mainly showing up for news publishers. Okay, so do understand that if you go out there and let's say you have a client who has let's say, I don't know, an auto mechanic, it's an auto mechanic site. You can apply AMP, but it's not gonna show the AMP icon. I mean, it's obviously a good thing for your client site, because it's using AMP technology, which makes it faster to download. But again, it's not gonna give that little icon. The benefit that it will have is that it obviously is an accelerated download, right? So, but looking at things and looking at the way Google acts, this is where AMP is moving into the future into just standard websites. If they're trying it out right now with news, I'm pretty sure they'll do that. So I want to touch base a little bit more on AMP because we did have a lot of questions. One of the questions is there a need for AMP to be used on a generic site? At this stage, you got to definitely do your due diligence. And I would definitely recommend that you view those two links that I sent you, right? Because those two links will kind of give you an idea of whether you should do it now or maybe wait 3 months to do it or wait 6 months or maybe on your client's next design, right? Next website design upgrade. But it's not something that you need to go and do right away today. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this article that was actually by this one was on Search Engine Journal Watch, and the article was titled "What will Google's accelerated mobile pages mean for marketers? What would it do for us?" So number one thing is that this open source initiative, obviously, the goal is to dramatically improve the performance of the mobile web and Google's Google's AMP project is really an answer to Facebook's instant articles and Apple News, which basically, really download very fast, and in the performance of this content downloads very fast. So Google obviously went out there and began the AMP project. While both of these initiatives require entering into a dedicated partnership with Facebook or Apple, anyone can get on board with Google's AMP and use it to create web pages. So yes, if you have a client who's a mechanic or a carpenter, you can add the features for accelerated mobile pages. Okay, but at this stage, there is some positives because obviously it's gonna have faster downloads, and I'll go get into that. But it's not gonna have the little icon, seal of approval that's an AMP site yet. Only publishers are getting that right now. So what is AMP and what does it do? Accelerated Mobile Pages is a stripped down version of the mobile web which runs on a reinvented version of the language used to create web pages, HTML. So now as opposed to, it's really like they say, it's a reimagined version of HTML, now known as AMP HTML. The key thing here is that if you are able to implement, right, AMP HTML or able to implement the code onto an existing site or a new site, Google, they boast or they claim that the load can improve anywhere from 15 to 85% faster than the non-AMP version of that page, right? So again, it just gives you a bit of boost to download, right? However, again, that to me is a big difference because 15% to 85% is just a big range. If it was, let's say, 50 to 85, it's acceptable, but you have to definitely follow the rules to make sure that you can fully optimize it. Now, the beautiful part about it is that it also made it very easy for web publisher to get started in AMP with a tutorial. So I've actually have shared that here in this link. And again, I'm gonna just briefly pause this so I can share the link. And again, I would recommend that you do a bit of due diligence before we get all in the bandwagon of having sites with AMP. It is a good thing. So trust me, it is a good thing, but you just have to, know if that's what's best for your client today. I mean, I believe that if they have a very fast, download version of their mobile site, that should be suffice. But main uh, um, uh, uh, it should be something that you should be looking into because it's going to come to. I know I'm getting some questions, so I'm going to definitely get into them as well. So the other thing is this one by Search Engine Watch, for example, is accelerated mobile pages get a boost in search rankings. Yes, obviously they will be getting a bit of a boost because, as you know, mobile friendliness is a factor, great, but also site speed, right? So definitely, if you were to look at the Google website, the Google AMP website, Accelerated Mobile Pages website, you'll definitely see some of the demos that they run on how fast mobile pages are downloading. Okay. Fast rendering also equals more page views and more ad views, according to a study done by Kissmetrics. 40% of web users will abandon a page if it takes longer than 3 seconds to load. Okay, a waiting time which is likely to be exacerbated on mobile by signal issues. So faster loading mobile pages will seem to be in everyone's interest. No one's going to see an advert or read a brand message if they abandon a page before it loads. So again, my personal opinion is before you start getting into AMP, if your client's site their mobile version of their website is fast enough, that's great. If they're not fast enough and they need that boost, look into the options of having them add the AMP features. Okay. Um, Faster rendering pages mean more page views per session, which means users see more ads as a result. Google is making sure that AMP traffic can be quantified and analyzed just like regular web pages. And as a result, AMP will have inbuilt native support for Google Analytics, but you'll also be able to make use of partners such as Chartbeat, Comscore, and Adobe Analytics for user traffic and behavior data. So this is another piece of news regarding AMP that definitely there will be support through Google Analytics, so you can start tracking some of that data as well if you're running, the performance of your AMP pages. Okay. So that's something that we'll also keep you posted and perhaps even have some feedback on it for you in the coming weeks. Okay. Before I move on, because I'm getting some questions, let me kind of address. Oops. See if I can address them quickly. And definitely. Uh, oops. Okay. So one of the questions that I'm getting here is uh, just give me a quick second. It's in regards to, is a responsive web design AMP mutually exclusive? Yes, very good question. There are two different things. Okay, responsive web design is just obviously converting a website into a mobile-friendly version of your desktop site. In AMP, you have to look at it as additional code or additional programming or a feature that just amps, right? It just basically it speeds up the download of your web pages. Okay, so it's definitely something that is different, and I will share the article links for you for these two to these articles in a few minutes. So just bear with me, okay? But I did want to make sure that you understand that both RWD or responsive web design is different than AMP. And the best, those three links that I shared with you will definitely help because I mean I kind of even went through the 6 minute video and the YouTube video, and it definitely explained a lot about AMP. Again, most of the benefits going right now to publishers, right? But I would imagine that in the future, it's definitely going to impact and be required or a requirement, perhaps, for all websites. Okay, excellent. Um, then another question that I'm having here is, uh, then if you have a very fast responsive site that the mobile page download is very fast, is there a need to make a generic site AMP? Nope. I think that that's your first line of at this stage. That would be your first priority to make sure that your mobile version of the site downloads fast. Okay, so I guess that's the same one. Definitely, Madhu, I will share the articles with you in a few minutes. Okay. Perfect. So that's what I wanted to share with you this week. So as Michelle kind of talks a little bit about the promo of the month, maybe I'll start beginning to share some of the articles. So Michelle?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to reach out to you with respect to our promotion that's going on. Of course, as most of you know, we do have the WordPress template theme website development promotion. Just to reiterate, it's a WordPress theme CMS, 5-page site. It is customized template theme. So the purchase of the template is actually extra, but the 5 pages do cost $6.99, and then your template cost is anywhere between $75 to $125. Some of the features that it includes is it is fully responsive. There is a blog module included. It does come with a contact us form as well as Google Analytics integration, and of course it is SEO friendly. So with this, just wanted to point out a couple of the benefits because many people don't know, or maybe you've thought about it and are just not sure. So we just wanted to put a list together and go through them with you so you had an idea of why choose a template versus a custom website design. So your client's business requires a dynamic online presence to engage their local and international online customers. In building a new site, you have two design style choices in front of you. You can choose the custom design, or of course you can go with the template. So those are your options. So a few of the benefits as to why choose templates. Number one, it's faster to deploy. So the client's business will be online ready to sell in a quicker time frame than using a custom design template. Also, templates are less prone to errors, so that's a good thing. They have been tried and tested with a proven track record. So this means no coding errors and an enhanced website experience for your visitors. Templates are more affordable. So if you've ever received a customized quote from us, you'll know they can be a little bit pricey. That's just because of all the work that's involved in actually designing and customizing, etc. So with templates, you eliminate a lot of that work, and of course, that savings is passed on to you in a cheaper cost. So by, the money saved by choosing a template can be either better invested in generating traffic and sales to the website. So you're looking at more money, more budget for other things like online advertising, SEO, PPC, etc. And template designs are responsive. So again, they already come responsive, so that's a good thing. You don't have to pay for the RWD. I think that's pretty much it. Besides that, they also come on a WordPress content management system, which is one of the most search engine friendly CMSs as well. So I wanted to add that too. Armando, if I missed anything, do you want to add to
Yeah,
that?
no, that's great, Michelle. Yeah, the reason I kind of want to take some time today to talk about this is because sometimes clients may just want to think about customized design, and it's always good to give them an option of template because it is, as one of the key benefits, as Michelle mentioned, is more cost beneficial. And the way we've done it at ALM is that once we get your requirements, we actually do the homework for the IC, where we go out there and look based on the design questionnaire that the client has filled in, because there's still an element of data that has, or requirements gathering that has to be done. We actually go out there and look for these designs, and we try to match them as close as possible. And sometimes, the client may not even know it looks like a template. So or your end visitors, right? They may not know that this is a template site. So definitely that, from that perspective, the fact that we can build them faster, it's more cost effective. So have a look at that. If you have any more questions and want to touch base with us, let us know, and we'll be more happy to share with you, some of the, let's call them, key selling points on template design versus custom design. Because at the end of the day, your client just wants to make sure they have a very professional looking site that matches their branding. So as long as you have their logo, their colors, etc., which some of these templates we were able to make some of these changes, and that obviously has the key factors, the key features in it, then it can be very beneficial. So that's why we kind of wanted to explain a little bit more about that. I know that in the past, sometimes template designs don't get the benefit, but we are seeing more and more the opportunity for template themes that are actually very SEO friendly, have very fast download speeds, as well as already responsive. So definitely you're cutting a lot of production time as well, and design time. So it makes sense. And it may not apply to all of your clients, but there are some clients that are very budget conscious or time conscious, that they just want something very up and running. This is an opportunity to give them something, and we're going to help you all along the way to choosing a good template. Excellent, thank you, Michelle. And just to finalize, we're kind of coming to the end. I have one more question here. Uh, Maria talks about a recent article that she read on regarding AMPs. I read Google has released Google Analytics measurement capabilities for accelerated mobile pages. Yes, they actually have done. Now the question is, if we should measure all pages separated from new AMP pages. If so, why? A very excellent question. Um, what I would recommend, number one, is if you're going to develop an AMP feature or add AMP technology or the AMP programming to a website, and you might as well make sure that you do it to the most trafficked pages, right? So for example, maybe the homepage, the about us. If you can afford to do it through all the site, then do it through all the site, right? That's the best approach. But you would probably have to do it for your homepage, your about us, your contact us, and obviously your blog, because the main reason Google wants webmasters or site owners to use AMP is for fast download information at their fingertips, and that fast information has to do with real relevant content, which can be found in blogs. So for sure, your blog modules should have that. If you want to go piece by piece, if you don't have the resources to convert your whole website on AMP, maybe that's the way of doing it. Now, should you measure all pages separated from new pages? That's something that definitely you should keep an eye on, specifically if you are looking at time spent on pages, right? Sessions, right? That's something that will be definitely need to be measured in order to provide an ROI to your client, right? Because at the end of the day, your client's going to ask you, why are you doing this AMP on my site? How is it going to impact? How is it going to benefit me? Well, definitely in the coming months after AMP has been added to your website, you will definitely have to show those KPIs. Where you've seen an increase in page sessions, in sessions, uh, number of pages being reviewed, etc. Right? So if you want, Maria, maybe Michelle or myself can kind of touch base a little bit offline in regards to that. But it is something that definitely you will be required to measure for your client to show ROI. Okay, I hope that answers that question. Um, Excellent, everybody. Thank you for being with us today, and I look forward to another exciting webinar next week. If you have any questions, again, feel very free to reach out to us. We're always here to help you, and have a great week. As I said, my goal is that next week we can have our guest speaker talking about a more in-depth SEO article or theme. Again, here's our contact information. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to reach out to us, feel free to reach out to us, and we look forward to having you next week. Take care. Bye bye.